welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my beautiful, stunning co-stars, Veronique Arsenault and Judy Loge.
Laughing is medicinal.
We haven't paid her for a while. We need to go have some money there
for a little bit, so I had to
give
come
your
back
money
with
later.
something fantastic.
Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies. Welcome.
Hello, Audrey.
Okay, another Monday here in Miramichi.
Yes.
The sun is shining.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
We'll take
That's a
it.
good thing. We'll take it because it's bitter cold out there today
Yeah,
compared
it
to
is.
last week. We had that little mild spell, little taste of summer, spring.
It's supposed to get better though. As the week goes on, it's supposed
Is
to
it?
get better, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
We'll
There was
take
a
it.
lot of melting because we were pretty much buried alive.
Pretty much.
Had been following us at all. But we have a great show lined up for you today. We have a couple of great guests that are going to be talking to us about the Shanex that's coming here to Miramichi. Exciting.
Very good now.
Yes, definitely. But we're going to start off our show like we always do with a positive quote. So, and I believe I'm up
You're
since
up.
I've been away for a
You're
little
up.
bit.
That's
right, Audrey.
And so this quote came to me through our producer, which I just love. It's from the song Genesis from 1976.
Okay. Was
And
I
it sort of
born?
goes with sort of
Yeah.
goes with our theme today, talking about the Shanex. So in the song, there is this phrase: "The face that launched 1,000 ships is sinking fast. That happens, you know. The water gets below. Seems not very long ago, lovelier she was than any that I know."
Oh, kind of hits you right in the heart, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. So, you know, with
love it.
with the aging population, especially being so high here in Miramichi, and the Shanex coming, we have lots to look forward to.
Yes, and our seniors are our most valuable assets on this river. Let's face it. I mean, our
No.
children are our future seniors. We're our
True.
seniors before too long.
No.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it.
Although you know, it's funny. One of your sisters-in-laws, one of my aunts said, you know, don't get old, and I'm like, well, it's better than the alternative.
That's true, Veronique.
Yes.
It's
You know,
so
really.
true. But I
No.
mean, what can we learn better but from seniors
Yes.
than,
No,
than
exactly.
the truths of life and wisdom and
No,
just
they
how
have
to
the
be
stories
graceful.
that they can tell of where they came from and
Yes.
how things were. That just totally
History.
fascinates me. I really do. I enjoy it
And
very
a lot
much.
of the time, they don't get the respect that they deserve. Well, that's a
No.
whole other show, but
Yes.
but we want them to have the very best, and we're so
Definitely.
happy for Shanex to be coming on later.
I wanted to share a story with you guys that recently happened this past week. Being a mother of 4, you always wonder, and I'm sure many parents do, are we doing a good job, right? With raising them to be, you know, mature, responsible, respectable, kind adults.
Yes.
And you can only hope and pray that as they get older that this is happening. And every now and then you get little glimpses that you are doing a good job. And I just wanted to share with you a little story about my youngest daughter, Danae, who this past Saturday had an appointment to go get her nails done. But I was working, so her dad took her to the appointment. So anyway, that happened and went, and I never heard anything about it specifically until the following morning. I was up quite early and to the gym, of course, and I had another parent message me and ask me, was your daughter getting her nails done yesterday? And I'm like, yes. Why? Because you never know for sure.
Yeah.
And she said, as she was leaving and paying, she said she paid the most lovely compliment to the owner and staff as she was leaving.
Oh.
I'm getting misty.
And I was like, pardon me? And she said, yes. She said, how old is she? And of course, Danae is 14. And I was like, well, what exactly did she say? And her words were, I just love coming here. You guys are so nice and make me feel so good.
That's just
Aw,
beautiful.
isn't that
And
right?
from a girl that age, that's
what
you
she
know,
was
it's not
saying.
that
That's what
common.
this
Let's
mom
just
was saying.
face it. They don't
Yeah.
all take the time as teenagers to do that.
No, they just get in, they got what they
Adults
want,
don't
and
do
they're
that.
out. And that's what she was wondering. She
Proud.
said it was something that an adult would say, being so appreciative of the service and being treated
that
kindly and
lovely?
things like that. And the gentleman who owns the salon, he in return thanked her for saying that.
Exactly. Well, you've role modeled
know?
well, apparently, Audrey, and it is a good
yes.
feedback.
So that was my little
That's
feel
nice.
good. That
Very,
was my little
very
feel
nice.
good.
It
that
does feel
Danae-
good.
Yeah, and then I in turn shared that story with her,
Yeah.
right,
good.
to let her know. So
Yeah.
you know,
Beautiful.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Makes
It
a
really
kind
does.
word makes a big difference.
I just
It
don't right
does.
ask my
Just
kids,
be
am I doing a
kind.
good job?
Yes.
yeah, it's not. It doesn't take that much to be kind, right? And Danae always did. She always wore her heart and does wear her heart on her sleeve.
Nice.
And she's often telling her friends that that they're pretty, that they're nice, and that she appreciates them. And she doesn't hesitate. She's just. It comes easily to her.
And she has good self-confidence, obviously, because
Yeah.
those who don't must not feel,
That's right.
Yeah,
worthy
it's
themselves.
something that's growing with her because at that age, it is, can be with the internet and putting yourself out there can be very scary.
Change it. It can turn
Right?
it around.
It can turn
Yep,
it around,
definitely.
definitely. So we have lots of other little news to share, some good, some bad.
There's
Where
always
did you
good
wanna
and bad.
start?
There's always the good, bad, and the ugly. Can we start with Donald Trump then? No, we don't. No.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about the announcement that happened on Friday
Yes.
with Mr. Kevin
Yes.
Vickers.
Very exciting.
And so, of course, after the last election, Mr. Glant stepped down, and there's a little clip there about Mr. Vickers.
He's a great man.
And you know, it's interesting. He has served his country for the entirety of his career with distinction and with grace and with courage.
Yeah.
And now he's decided he could very, very well retire and enjoy his life in Trout Brook. He's decided that he feels like he still has something to give back. And so he announced on Friday that he's officially launching his bid for the leadership for the Liberal Party for New Brunswick.
Very honest, very sincere, forthright man. He says it as it is. He's proud to be a Miramichier, but he's proud to serve in the capacity he's always served in. He was an RCMP officer for
that's right.
decades and Sergeant of Arms.
Yeah.
You mentioned that on the Hill in Ottawa. But he also has siblings here and extended family, and he said he wants to do well, not just for the people of our province, but for people everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, you know, I look forward to, you know, to all the candidates. I'm a firm believer that, you know, we need diversity in politics in all parties, and that we need people who typically wouldn't be politicians to step up, right? Because it's we need that voice. We need a different voice.
I
And
was
so,
surprised.
well, and
I
so
really
was
was.
I.
Yeah.
So was I. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the race all plays out. I know that the Liberal Party will be picking the new leader in June, on June 22nd, and then going into the election. And I think, you know, no matter who is in that leadership, it's going to
be a challenge.
yeah, and it's going to be
time around.
interesting to see, you know, how ideas and policies kind of play out. And I think the one thing I'm going to actually say to everybody, and it's something that I've been thinking about a lot, because there's always so much criticism in social media, and
especially when it comes to politics.
yeah. So when you oppose somebody or you want to debate, let's talk about their policies. Let's talk about their visions. Let's talk about, you know, their beliefs.
good.
Their
Don't
plans.
Don't talk about the person.
Or the past.
You know,
the
like
past
don't
is gone.
don't hammer
No,
that
what
person.
are they saying that they want for our
Yes.
country? What
Let's debate that.
Change
plan
is good,
to
but
do.
you can't change for the future is good, but you can't change what's already been done
That's
and didn't
right.
work
No.
out.
That's
No,
right.
exactly.
So, you know, and it's the same for every party. When I talk about other parties that I you know, every party's got great things going on. They've got a lot of great policy. It's just it maybe not always your policy, right?
Every party has
So
issues
let's-
as well.
That's right. So let's
Yeah.
debate policy. Let's
Yeah.
not
Good
let's not name call. Let's
Right.
not trash a person. Let's talk about policy.
Exactly.
Yeah, good.
And when you think about it, just even in the younger generation and going through school and stuff like that, that's the way it's run. Like when they do little school elections and things like that, they're taught that those things are not what you debate.
Yeah.
Right? So
Right.
why as adults are we going back to high school and
Well,
you
you
know?
see it on social media, right?
Yeah.
And they're attacking a person, and I just, or their families, and I think that that isn't. We need to be better as a society.
Yeah, it's
and
about
we need
bullying.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we need to
Yeah,
talk
exactly.
about their ideas, not about them as a
No,
person.
That's right.
No, exactly.
point,
That's
Veronique.
a very good point. And we wish Kevin the
Yes, all the best.
yes, definitely.
and everybody that's jumping in.
Yes, all of that.
Yes,
contributes.
because that alone,
Yep.
to jump into that race
Yep,
and
it's
be
tough.
in that,
It's
not
tough.
easy. No,
Yep.
for sure. And other things that have happened now, did you see the Juno Awards or what was that?
I watched some highlights of it,
Did
and
you?
Sarah
Okay.
McLaughlin, as we know, is the most beautiful Canadian
Yeah.
songbird, one of the many, and she was the host. And Corey Hart was entered into the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all know
wow.
Corey Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
That was my youth.
Yeah,
I
he stepped
know.
away for so many years,
I wear my
right?
sunglasses at night.
You do? I do.
Yes.
That's the only way I look at
But
it.
he's on tour again. Eh?
He's on
So-
tour
Yes,
again,
he is. I
and
did see that.
He didn't take the stage and sing last night that I saw, but he did say that he met his wife, who is from Quebec, also a song,
really?
a singer, when they presented Junos way back when.
Oh.
And he just stepped away from music and recording and performing because he has a son and 3 beautiful daughters.
Wow.
And
Oh,
he
wow.
wanted to spend family time and raise
Yeah.
his children well. And he got very emotional in his
Did he
speech.
really?
Yes.
Oh.
And one of our very own, his name is Jeremy Dutcher. He is from First Nation Tobique First Nation, which is between Aroostook and Perth Andover, New Brunswick.
Okay.
And he won Indigenous Album of the Year.
Incredible.
I'm so proud of him.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he doesn't live that far away from us.
Yeah.
So
Giddy up.
wow.
good on
Congratulations.
him. And
Yeah.
Shawn Mendes was the big winner
yes, he was.
Was
last
he?
night with 5 Junos.
My youngest
including-
daughter will be
yeah,
thrilled.
Album of the Year he won for his category.
awesome.
Well, like Lady Gaga, he takes on a lot of the stuff that I think people in this day and age want to hear about, which is
Yeah.
mental
too.
illness.
Yeah.
And he deals
Yeah.
with anxiety pretty badly himself. So his song, in My Blood or something
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
it was
That's
written
the song with
talking
Danae.
about what he goes through as a
Yeah.
young star.
Isn't that amazing?
It's
So
written in
it
my
was,
blood.
yeah, written in my, what is it?
Written in my blood, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Danae, she'll be
She'll
mad if
correct
I get
you.
that. She'll correct me for sure.
But
She's saying that.
Yes,
at-
they do.
Yep. No,
It's about
it does. It
his-
touches them a lot.
It does. And so kudos to Shawn Mendes.
Yeah, for
Good.
sure. Other news we have, unfortunately, some other not so good news.
So
Those
much
were some great
tragedy.
things. So much tragedy. We're going to start the mosque shooting.
Another.
Another, exactly.
In New Zealand,
Yep.
claiming the lives of 50 people.
50
Yeah.
people in 2 mosques,
One shooter, 28-year-old Australian man, who had this very well planned out.
obviously.
Very, very
He
well.
was-
Oh, yes, they had so much on him. He had pages and pages and pages of plans
Of
laid out.
79 pages in his
documented.
manifesto.
of how he was going to lay it all out.
Yeah, white
That
supremacist.
is so disturbing.
Yep.
Absolutely disturbing that someone would take all their time and energy
Yep.
To kill.
it's
a hate
take
crime. It's
not
just-
just a life, but as many lives as he possibly
Yep.
can.
But the good news is that the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, is going to look at changing the gun laws. She's looking at reform.
Instantly.
Yep.
Isn't that fantastic?
Not even how many days since
Oh,
it happened,
well,
and she's
she
making a
announced it
change.
Yesterday or today that she's going to be
Yeah,
doing
over
it
the
very
weekend.
soon.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I think the attack happened on Friday, and they were already meeting on the weekend to draft new legislation to ban assault rifles.
Good on her.
Giddy up.
Exactly.
Because another shooting took place this morning,
Yes,
didn't it?
in the Netherlands.
On a tram in the
Yeah.
Netherlands, 3
Oh,
people
for
died. So it's
goodness
just guns,
sakes.
guns, guns.
Yeah.
And can I just say that I'm sorry, everyone knows I love Trump so much. I don't mind holding back my feelings. I'm allowed to have my opinion.
Correct.
What I was appalled at was that he wrote to those people who had lost their loved ones in this catastrophe, devastation of a situation. Warmest best wishes and warmest sympathy. Best wishes? Hello?
Well, he
I'm
shouldn't
just
be
like-
allowed to tweet.
Best wishes in what regard?
No.
To get on your feet again? I mean, these people are suffering
He
like
should not be allowed.
it's unbelievable. And that one dear man from Brampton
Yeah.
that lost 6 wasn't
Family
it?
members?
That was in the
6
other.
6 family members in the
In
Ethiopian,
the
air
Ethiopian
crash.
crash.
Yeah.
I don't know what he had to say to him, but I mean, that man is going through.
Well, and that was devastating. I had listened to the story on the news, and they were talking about the fact that the family had gone over. The father was from the region, and it was a trip of a lifetime. He was bringing his kids there to see where he was from. They had been talking about it for years, and they were finally able to go back, and then they were all killed in the
Yeah.
flight, in the
Oh
crash.
my land.
Yeah.
So this man from Brampton had to go. He lost his mother, his father, his sister, her husband, and the 2 nieces.
Yeah.
And had to make that trip over. With,
Yeah.
It's
No,
just-
this is the Boeing
Yeah,
737,
this is
the one
the
that
Ethiopian
a
crash.
number of
737.
different
Yeah.
a number of different countries are banning.
Yeah, so
this
I
plane.
think there was 147 killed on that flight. There was 18 from Canada. There was a gentleman from New Brunswick on it.
Yeah, I
but
believe.
yeah, there was people from across the country. But yeah, that 6 members of that one family.
From that one family and people
Yeah.
from 35 different countries. We talked
Yeah.
about that last. But this 737
Max.
Max 8 is
didn't even
the
get off
one,
the ground,
the same
did it?
It did.
Oh, it did get
Minutes
off the
after
ground, okay.
takeoff, it went down. But now they're looking at the
Yeah.
recording data.
Yeah.
And it shows a very similar pattern to the one that went down in Indonesia, the same model of airplane,
Yeah.
in October.
Okay.
And what else about that, Audrey? Or Andre? It just says that they said that there was malfunctioning of the software,
Yeah.
which left the crew overwhelmed.
And they can't. I guess from from the stuff that I've read is that they can't. The pilot can't. It dives so quickly. So it was within 6 minutes of takeoff. It dives so quickly that the pilot can't correct.
Right,
yeah.
And then it just. and
They're
then-
still too close to the ground.
Yeah.
They're
not that
high.
far up yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
To be
so
able to
that- yeah.
self-correct.
So we'll be taking one of those flights
no,
in that
I know,
model anytime
no.
soon.
And we do fly. We do fly quite quite a bit.
I know.
But yeah, so it's anyway. Thankfully,
No, I'm like, I have a flight in like 5 weeks
Right.
with my family.
Yeah.
I have no idea what plane I'm getting on, but
Yeah.
Take a hang glider.
No, it
it's,
does.
you know,
It's quite nerve wracking
yeah.
for sure.
Well,
you know,
and the
to think.
outpouring of sympathy from around the world has been incredible
Yeah.
for both
Yes.
tragedies. But it's and then of course there was the other shooting, as you said this morning, in the Netherlands. So it just it's really it's sad because we it doesn't stop us anymore in our tracks like it used to. It's become the
too
norm
common.
that we're talking about these mass
Yes,
shootings, and
that's disturbing.
and every country has had them now, and it's just it's so sad that that's what we've come to, and
To expect.
yeah,
And that is
Yeah.
that is true.
yeah.
Used to be
It's-
unheard of every other month or year or whatever you'd hear about one, but
Well,
now
and there's been a couple hundred mass shootings in the States since the beginning of the year. Like, it's just shocking to
So
me.
mass meaning more,
More
than,
than
one.
one.
yeah. Well, maybe
Yeah.
they could take lessons from the New Zealand
Yeah.
Prime Minister
Yeah,
on gun
exactly.
reform.
Nobody
and look
nobody
into the
needs an
gun
assault
laws.
rifle.
No, no.
That's
That's
right.
just it. I mean, like, it just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like,
No.
the humanity of it all,
Yep.
period, is just
Yep.
is beyond what I can even comprehend.
Agreed.
We want to mention that our guests that are on today's show, we have, I believe, Derek Green is going to be joining us first to talk to us about he's
Yes.
the Vice President of New Brunswick for the Shanix.
For Shanix, yeah.
Right? Exactly. So he's going to be filling us all in on all of that information and the upcoming everything that
Well, you
has
can't
to
miss the
do with
buildings
it.
as you drive by them.
Oh,
so-
No,
They're
no. They're
state-of-the-art
beautiful.
buildings.
Yeah.
They
So
are.
proud
They really
of
are.
them.
They're very impressive.
Yeah.
We have a number of people who drive through the city, and that's what they say. Did you see?
Yeah.
Look how it looks, and,
Yeah.
and different things like that.
Providing employment too.
No,
Yep,
exactly.
I know.
That's
A lot of
just
people
it.
I know are working there at
Yeah.
the moment on that construction site.
Exactly.
Both
And then
sides.
in the second segment, we'll have Christina Camusi.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good job,
Christina
Audrey.
Yes, Camusi will be joining us after that to fill us all in, and she's the marketing manager for
It's going
the
to be an
Shanix.
interesting
So-
show, and people are very geared up to hear more about this
Yeah.
enterprise.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break. Don't go away. We'll be back with more. Have a chat. And welcome back to Have a Chat. Joining us now is our first guest, Shanix representative Derek Green. Hello, Derek. How are you?
Hey folks, I'm
Well,
great.
welcome.
Thanks
Thanks for
very
making
much.
the trip from where again?
I came up from Riverview this morning.
Riverview.
Not too far.
So nice
Not
to
too
have
far.
you and your
Short little John.
partners
Yes.
with you.
Would have been a nice drive, not too much.
It was a lovely drive.
was,
I love
right?
coming up to the Miramichi. I'm from this area, so
Right.
Oh, lucky
And the
you.
snow was high as
you
the
can,
far,
you can see the
closer
snow
you got
belt
to
on
us.
the drive up. You can see-
Shocked?
yeah, very shocked. Well, I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, so yeah.
Right. It's not
We
going
have
away
so
too
much
soon.
snow. We have
No,
so
exactly.
much snow.
Now you are the VP New Brunswick for
Yes.
the Shanix, and you're here to talk to us about a number of things concerning this nice big project we have coming here to Miramichi, and we can't wait to get started for you to tell us all about it. But first, we're going to find out about you.
Oh, great.
Yes, we want to know who you are.
So I'm from a small town called Boys Town, from up on the Miramichi River,
Right.
southwest
Never
Miramichi.
heard of it.
Never heard of Boys Town.
Joking.
And for
We
people,
all know
I always
it.
joke I'm not even from Boys Town. That's just the big town I went to for school.
Right.
I'm from a little town called Hayesville, small community on the southwest
Oh,
Miramichi.
okay.
Very nice.
I've only been with Shanix now 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I had a
Oh,
long career with
newbie.
Menadee Blue Cross.
Okay.
23 years, and prior to that, I was in the Armed Forces for 8 years. So I actually was posted to Chatham.
Oh,
So I have a lot of ties to this region.
and we miss our forces base. I'll tell you that.
That's how
Yes.
Dad met Mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes?
Yeah.
And I grew up with all the kids from there, so.
Yeah.
What's
same
funny,
here.
Lost.
my colleagues, we drove up today, and I toured them around and showed them the house I used to live in up in Chatham, still there. It's same. I can remember the street. I got a little bit mixed up, but it's funny what comes back to you
Yeah.
when you
I
spend
don't
some
think
time in an area.
we don't get rid of buildings in our little city very
not
often.
really.
No, we hang on to a lot of history for sure, definitely here. So let's get started. First, we want to talk about the history of Shanix.
The history of Shanix.
Yes. Now, fill us in.
So you got to bear with me. I've only been with the company 3 months, so I have
Yes.
some notes. I don't
You're
want to
allowed.
mess
Yes,
anything
no,
up.
Yeah.
you
You're
follow,
allowed.
follow your notes,
So
definitely.
Shanix is a family-owned company. We're maritime-based from Cape Breton.
Okay.
Our founder was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Joseph Shannon, and he started the company about 30 years ago.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Joe was a businessman, and he was approached, and he had an opportunity to buy a nursing home in Cape Breton, his hometown,
Then to that one.
and that's what got us down this path.
Wow.
We've been in New Brunswick now 20 years. And we have 5 campuses today in New Brunswick.
Beautiful.
Existing campuses. One in Moncton, one in Riverview, Quispamsis, St. John, and Fredericton.
Oh wow.
And so with the expansion into the Miramichi region, we'll have 2 more campuses.
Isn't it fantastic? I'm
Yes.
really excited about all this.
Well, and I drive by because my mother works at the hospital, so I drive by the one in Chatham Head every day, and it's amazing that it's come
Oh.
together that quickly,
Yeah.
and how incredible it is to drive to see it.
No. Well, explain a little bit about, because I know for a lot of people, they don't quite understand what the difference is between Shanix per se,
Right.
because they're hearing that word and it's like a buzzword,
Yeah.
compared to what a regular or a normal nursing home would be.
Right.
What's the difference?
Shanix is a private-owned company, so we're a for-profit company that runs nursing homes. And so
Okay.
we've been running nursing homes, like I said, for 30 years. We've got 30 communities in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and in Ontario,
Oh, wow.
where we operate our facilities. So we're bringing a sort of a different approach by having that mass, I guess.
And it's not just a regular type of nursing home from what we remember.
Right. One of the things that we do, and my colleague Christine is going to talk a little bit about the continuum of care that we offer at our campuses. So we have nursing homes on our campuses, but we also have what we call assisted living, and we have retirement living as well. And
Okay.
we combine the 3, and so we have a continuum of care. So in an ideal scenario for Shanix, we like to welcome retirees or residents to our communities when they're healthy, before they need to come to our communities.
Right.
Right.
And then what we offer them from a peace of mind perspective is the security and the care that they may or may not need in some point in their life.
Right.
So we have a lot of people join us at that point in time, and then later on, if their needs progress, we can provide those services in their home, which becomes our community. So it's a very different philosophy. For our nursing homes, what's great about our nursing homes, and you'll see it, when you get a chance to visit our homes on the Miramichi, is we offer individual private rooms with their own bathroom, well-apportioned rooms. They're very nice. And so it's a really nice thing to have here in the Miramichi.
I've been to the one in Cape Breton. I was so excited when I saw that, thinking this can really be a home for seniors. This is so impressive. I talked about it for days after
Yeah.
visiting that.
Yeah.
No.
Exceptionally
So at what
nice.
age would you be open to having, like you say, it starts at retirement?
We have retirees that come to us in their early 70s. We would love to have even younger than that. We have a new exciting project going on right now in Moncton at Faubourg. It's our French campus in Moncton, right adjacent to University of Moncton, where we're actually opening lifestyle apartments.
Oh.
And so these apartments, there's no care involved. So they're not even retirees. These are active individuals that are coming to live with us on our campus. And we hope at some point in time that they'll enjoy the campus so much they want to retire there.
Interesting.
Oh,
So-
I see. So campus, for anybody who's not exactly sure, I'm assuming you have facilities that are right there within this community, so there isn't a whole lot of travel. Everything is right at their fingertips.
Exactly. So that's sort of the benefit of coming to live with us on one of our campuses. So I mean, we're from the northern part of the world. We have cold winters. It can be hard for our seniors, as you know, living in our
Yeah.
communities, having the opportunity to do certain things in the wintertime.
hard.
I
No.
get seniors as parents living in a small rural area, and they have a hard time getting into Fredericton
Yeah.
to do things.
No.
Our campuses provide, we have a spa so they can get their hair done. We have the dining hall so their meals are taken care of. You don't have to worry about getting groceries.
No.
Some of our campuses will have underground parking, so that's another
Wow.
advantage to living on our campuses. all kinds of things to do. Church, you can go to church on our campuses. We have a gym and fitness center.
I'm like,
Beautiful.
how young can we get?
Right.
I'm like,
Audrey.
yeah, I'm like,
It's a homey feeling. It's where you want the best for your senior parents or for ourselves someday.
Exactly.
In fact, because you feel like you're not within the square walls of a facility as such.
Exactly.
An institution. It's a home on a big scale.
Exactly.
yeah, it
And I
makes
know-
me think of when my daughter went to university and we were looking at the different campuses and what they had to offer, so she wouldn't have to travel far because she didn't have her own vehicle.
Yeah, just that one
Right?
bathroom. Your own bathroom's big. I know
Oh,
my
it's
son in
huge.
university. That's huge for
I know.
him.
I'd
Yeah,
like
it's
to not
huge.
share a bathroom.
And what we'll see, and I know Christine's going to talk a little bit about retirement living. In Logier Hall, so the facility we're building in Chatham, on Chatham Head, I still use the old names
Yep,
because
yeah,
I live
that's
there.
fine.
Yeah.
So the facility in Chatham Head we're calling Logier Hall.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's being named after a local
Yep.
physician, Dr. Gerard Logier, Judy's husband.
Yes.
And
My uncle.
really, and well-known family within this region, and so we're really pleased about that. Logier Hall is going to it's going to be our biggest nursing home in New Brunswick.
I'm very proud.
Wow.
I'm getting
Biggest
emotional
nursing
how
home
many
in New
beds?
Brunswick.
hearing
It's
that.
going to be 159.
159.
159, 26. It's going to be 26 new additional beds, but we're transitioning the residents and the staff from Mount St. Joseph's to Logier Hall.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in addition to that, we're adding another 26 spaces on top of
okay.
that. So it's going to be a phenomenal facility, and I'm telling you, we're going to have a grand opening. We're going to open it up to the public before we move the residents over,
wonderful.
so we can bring
Right.
people through and they can get a view of
I'm
it.
so
But
excited.
it will be a remarkable facility in New Brunswick.
And I'm hearing the patients that I visit my dad's sisters in there, and some families that I know personally cannot wait because they deserve a brand new home. They deserve modern accommodations
Well,
and a feel for newness and etc.
Well, and I know when Gerard, first started the whole push for a new facility in the region, it was that, right? It was because my grandmother, his mother, was in the Miramichi Senior Citizens Home, and the care was wonderful. They were
Wonderful
lovely,
care.
but it's that state of the art that we as a community and anyone who may join us as a community deserve to have for our seniors as well, because of course we are an aging population.
Brings
There's
them
no
to
question.
life.
Well,
Yes.
the level of care in which the staff would be able to give in a newer facility could be over and beyond what they're receiving now if
Yep.
they
Right.
just had that,
Plus, we're going to
available
get
to
the
them.
staff moved over,
We're
right?
moving the staff right over,
That's
so
a beautiful thing.
it's going to be a really what we like to say. What the president of our company, Jason Shannon, likes to say is that we'll have breakfast at Mount St. Joe's and we'll have lunch over at Logier Hall.
That's
Wonderful.
And it's going to be an exciting day for these families and residents and staff. It's going to be
It
a tremendous
is.
day. They're going to wake up that morning and they're going to have their breakfast. They're going to have their little overnight bag packed. Their families will have moved their things over, set their rooms up, hung their pictures, got it all ready to go, and then we're going to move them in that morning. And they're going to have lunch over there, and it's going to be tremendous.
now, do you have a date set for that?
We don't have a specific date, but
Okay.
it's looking like it's going to be October.
Okay.
Okay.
And so construction's going well.
Yeah.
The founder of the organization, Joseph Shannon, he was in Miramichi 2 weeks ago to walk through both of our facilities. I've been through
Okay.
them a number of times. So things are really progressing well. And the exciting thing about Logier Hall, it's going to have only the second main street of all our nursing home facilities. So we have one in Tucker Hall in St. John. And we're going to build one in Logier Hall. And what Main Street's going to enable, it's a lot of residents. So I said 159 residents. It's almost like going to a big high school.
Oh, look at the pictures.
with
Wow.
all
Oh,
different
here we
lanes.
go.
This is
This is inside?
this is going to be inside.
Insane.
And so what we create is a Main Street concept. So it brings back the memories for the residents
Okay.
of living on Main Street.
Yes.
And there's going to be a post office. There's going to be a church. There's
It's
going to be
funny.
a cafe.
I've read about the
Incredible.
benefits of having that actually in a home.
Yes.
About especially my grandmother had dementia, so Alzheimer's, and it's so great in keeping them going because they remember those things from their
The old days.
from their days, right? And it enables them to be able to, function in that environment without being in danger by going outside.
Exactly.
I just recently, last
Gorgeous,
year in
look at
October,
this.
just being in St. John and staying in a particular hotel, and of course I'm not going to remember the name, and there was an underground, it was pouring rain that weekend, I was there, pouring rain, and you came out and there was shops and businesses and restaurants and stores and all of these things, and I went, this is fantastic.
And the space here, it's not
Love it.
congested at all. Very wide as a street should be.
Yeah, and we're in the design phase right now. We're really trying to design this with a few things from the local area. So a
Okay.
few little, there's a few little
Things that
secrets that we're working on right
Oh,
now that we really
nice.
we want to bring back memories for folks that are from this region.
Right.
Okay.
From the, the beautiful views and vistas we have living on the
Right.
Miramichi River.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's right on the river.
it's right on the river.
And the one in Douglastown, of course, is as well. If people don't know
Yes.
where Douglastown is, it's right on the river as well.
Oh, the Douglastown views.
Bridgeview Hall, right?
Bridgeview
That,
Hall.
yeah, you might want to touch
So,
on that one.
The
Yeah, so
nursing
that
home
one's
in-
going to be what kind of nursing home?
It's going to be a campus. So the Douglastown Bridgeview Hall is going to be an 81-bed nursing home. Connected to that is going to be Parkland on the River. So
I was going to say, I
Parkland
can
on the
tell
River.
there's sort of two separate buildings
Yes,
there.
and it's
Okay.
so it's retirement living, what we call retirement
you
living.
can see it there.
Okay.
Okay,
And
Christina's
so-
there we
going to
go.
talk more
Okay.
about that, right?
Right,
Later.
and so Christina's going to walk you through Parkland on the
Yes.
river, but
Okay.
the views from the nursing home
Okay.
over there at Bridgeview Hall, there are going to be beautiful views of the bridge, beautiful views of the river. Same with Parkland on the river, unbelievable. Some of the best views we have in the whole Shannix family in
Beautiful.
terms of our facilities. So again, to bring that to this region, I'm so proud.
Well, you should be. I'm proud listening. Derek, what about the programs that people were very concerned about having or not having as were in the other homes, the Meals
Yes.
on Wheels, the outreach? Can you touch to those?
So all the not-for-profit Meals on Wheels, Adult Day Care Center, and the Lifeline programs, they're all going to be transitioning. So we're going to, Shannix is going to, we're going to continue to operate those on a not-for-profit basis.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
Wonderful
So
news.
all those folks that are, and there's so many people, volunteers involved in those programs. There's such strong programs for this region,
Yes.
and they
That's
serve
just
as such a big area.
They do.
Like, why would you not carry
Well,
them
they're
over?
so
Exactly.
valuable.
They're so valuable
Well,
for
and
this
grandma,
region.
grandma
Yeah.
went to the adult daycare program, and it was truly a godsend for us as a family. Like, and she loved
They
it.
do love it.
Well, and the Miramichi Seniors team does such a great job
And Meals
today.
on
And
Wheels
so
is very great.
that the Adult Day program, just to talk about that a little bit, we're moving that. They're going to move from the Miramichi Senior Center into the Logier Hall on the Chatham Head side. That's where Adult Day is going to be.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
And it's going to be expanded. We're going to have a bigger center for Adult Day.
We're already
so we're
talking
going to be
about
able to add
expansion?
10 to 15 more. I think they're at 15 today. We're going to be able to have allow
wow.
25 residents to participate, or 25 adults
That's
from the
fantastic.
community to
Look at this
participate.
beautiful building.
Looks like a beautiful hotel.
Let's just talk
Oh.
about what really I worry about all the time and love is food.
Yes.
Culinary.
Yep.
Culinary.
It's my
So-
favorite subject.
Very important.
Very important. And so when you're a senior, you're a resident in a nursing home, and you're living in retirement living, the food experience is very important. It's a very important part of your day.
Yep.
And so we go to great lengths to make sure that culinary experience is second to none in our facilities. So we have an executive chef at Halifax that oversees all of our chefs within the family. He's like a chief culinary officer,
Yes.
so
Okay.
CCO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dana comes up, he helps with the selection of who's going to be hired, he helps staff the kitchen appropriately. So we do a great job with our dining.
Wow.
The dining at a retirement living is fine dining like you would receive in a high-end hotel or high-end restaurant
Oh,
or
that's
cruise
good to
ship.
We're going to visit.
Exactly.
Yes, we're going to go
And
visit.
we involve the residents, and so
Well, I
we
was
do
gonna
taste
say-
testing with the residents.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
they
do
help
you?
us design the menu for the
Very
next quarter.
nice.
So we involve residents in building. So you'll see in different geographies where we have very localized menus. We
Well,
do
I was just going to go there. We have such great seasonal type.
exactly. So around here we may have smelts on the menu, or we might have
That's right.
who knows what, because we'll have a Miramichi
Moose
flair.
meat.
Lobster.
Moose meat,
Lobster,
lots
salmon.
of things.
But
Salmon.
Derek, you are dispelling a myth because there was a concern about the food, the quality of food, the type of food, and you've just cleared up the air as to it's going to be top.
It's
going
going
to
to be top notch.
Really good to
notch.
hear
Can't
that. Our
wait.
viewers will be happy to know.
No.
I
And now
love
there's
this.
going to be some volunteer opportunities for the community when it comes to
The rooms.
the different
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm fixated
Yeah,
by it.
Shannix, we have I think we have just over 2,000 volunteers within our Shannix
Wow.
communities. If not for volunteers, we wouldn't be able to provide some of the
Okay.
services and some of the recreational opportunities for our seniors that we do. So we're going to encourage the existing volunteers from the Mount St. Joseph's or Miramichi seniors to come, and we're also going to look for more volunteers within the community. You can never have too many volunteers, and we
Miramichi
welcome
is
them in.
known for volunteers being the driving force behind our
Oh.
region, and really it's wonderful to hear that there's going to be still that.
Well, these
opportunity.
programs, I mean, when we met with the folks running Adult Day and Lifeline, we haven't seen programs like that before. Those are unique to this region. The
wow.
fact that you have this many volunteers
Yep.
running these big programs out of nursing homes,
Fantastic.
unbelievable.
I haven't been to some hotels that look as
I
nice
know.
as
The one I was.
I like.
in
I
Cape
travel every year, and I'm
Yes.
like,
It's
those-
outstanding.
It is. It's absolutely stunning. Now, I have a
Wow.
question. My father would be aging, but lives on his own right now. What would be the process for me to maybe get his name on the list if he was to potentially require the services of Shannix?
It would depend on if he wants to get into a nursing home or
Okay.
if he wants to get into retirement living. So
okay,
again,
so those are the two different realms.
those are the two different realms. So
Okay.
for nursing homes, again, I don't want to steal Christina's thunder. She'll
Right.
talk about retirement living.
Right.
But for nursing homes, the Shannix nursing homes operate the same as all nursing homes in the province.
Okay.
That's one of the myths that we wanted to dispel a little bit.
Okay.
Even though we're a private nursing home,
You still run under.
in terms of what it costs to go to a Shannix
Okay.
home, it's the exact same cost for a resident as going to any home in New Brunswick.
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
a really
I
good
see.
point
That's
to
been
make.
the biggest.
That's
That's the
been
biggest.
big.
So if
concern.
I look prior to this job, I hadn't been in a lot of nursing homes, and so I've been in the Boys Town nursing home, a small little Upper Miramichi nursing
Right.
home. It's a 25-bed nursing home. If you choose, if my parents choose to go, they can pick when they start working with social development, and they decide they want to choose Loge Hall as opposed to the Boys Town nursing home as their first choice, then they will get the opportunity to come to Loge Hall when their name comes up on the list.
I'm definitely going to Loge Hall. I want to be the first one.
You don't want to go up to Boys Town?
No, exactly. Well,
That's
this is
amazing.
all great, wonderful news. Is there anything else that you want to share before we bring Christine?
Well, we wanted to make sure we shared the fact that we're bringing existing team members. So what was
Okay.
really important for the senior residents that living at
I'm-
Mount
I'm-
St. Joe and
Yeah, I
Miramichi
guess
today.
we're out of time. We're going to have to go for a
Oh,
quick
sorry.
break.
Okay, we'll keep
Oh,
going.
no
Yes,
worries.
the jobs will be
Definitely.
carried over.
We'll be
Jobs will
back
carry
with
over.
more Have a Chat after the break. Don't go away.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you so much. Welcome back to Have a Chat. Joining us now is our second guest, Christina Camuzzi. Hello, Christina. How are
Hi.
you?
Thank you so much for having me today.
You look all
Very
ready for this
excited.
show today. Right on,
Thank
push your
you.
tail.
I know. I wish I looked that bright. I didn't
Push it for a Monday.
No, that's just it.
Thank you.
Now, you are here to continue our conversation about the Shannix that we have coming here to Miramichi and the retirement, but you're going to talk to us about the retirement living portion of this project,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, so Parkland Retirement Living, we have 52 suites that will be opening in spring of 2020. And retirement living differs from nursing home care. It's a transition into more care. So it's really care there if you need it. But
Okay.
it's independent living with none of the responsibilities of home ownership.
Okay.
So, like, I don't have to mow my lawn or shovel the
No lawn
4,000 feet of
mowing.
snow.
No.
No shoveling.
Good. It's like an apartment-like setting,
very
but you say
similar.
there's help there.
There is support there. There's 24-hour staff on site.
Oh,
And
I
we
see.
also take care of all of your utility bills, all of your communication services.
Nice.
Everything is included in one simple bill
Oh, wow.
at the end of the month.
All right.
So that includes your meals, housekeeping. So in the
Oh,
winter,
laundry?
laundry.
Laundry. Oh,
Judy's like, I'm having it.
So we take care of your linens and your towels.
Oh.
Now, if you did want personal laundry, that could be included. But a
Okay.
lot of people still like to do their own laundry, and we
Yeah,
do
correct.
actually. Another thing that we offer is in-suite washer and dryer, and
I
all
was
of your
gonna say.
appliances. Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
52 suites, are they large enough for like a couple?
Yes, and,
Okay.
and we really encourage couples. So they're studio, one bedroom plus den, and 2-bedroom layouts.
Oh, wow.
And we are
Okay.
getting a lot of couples. So our suites are 40% sold already, so a year out. So there's
40%?
been,
Oh, for goodness sakes.
yeah.
So do they have their own little kitchen too, so they can cook their own meals if they wish to?
They
or
do,
is it,
yes.
Okay.
So
Is that what we're seeing here now?
yeah, so this is an
nice.
example of
Wow.
our all-inclusive lifestyle suite. So we actually have two
They're
service
very modern.
lines, very, very modern. So they're full kitchens, and actually originally we just had an info session back in February, and we weren't going to have ovens in the suites, but we heard from our
this.
residents at the sessions that they're still doing baking and they still want to cook
Oh,
small
yeah.
meals for families.
Sure.
So
Right.
our president actually made the decision to put ovens in all of the suites for our residents, just based on that feedback that we heard from those info sessions. So
Okay.
It was
Uh,
nicer
that's
than
nice.
most of my apartments that I've lived in.
Yeah, and I like the fact
Yeah.
that you held very many, I might as well say it, information sessions for the residents of Miramichi to find out exactly what they wanted to hear. You were there and your team were there to answer all the questions that they, some of the viewers didn't have the opportunity to hear all of what you're telling us today, or what Derek has to share. But you opened the floor up to getting
hear
feedback.
the feedback is the main part.
Exactly, and that's so
Yeah.
important to their needs.
And we were so excited by just the turnout at those sessions. This is a very active and engaged community,
They are.
and
Yes.
they want all, whether they're ready to move in or not, they want to know. And
Beautiful looking.
Yeah.
so we were very excited about that. Yeah.
What are we looking at here now? Is that a?
So this is actually a games room.
Oh,
So
okay.
in addition to the beautiful suites that you're getting, we have a
Okay.
games room. So there'll be a pool table, a flat screen TV where they can, watch shows with their friends.
Okay.
There's going to be a multi-purpose room, so an event space,
Oh my.
Oh, the gym.
a fitness
Like a
center,
fitness center, yeah.
and a spa. So it's a full-service
Ah.
spa. You can get your hair done, aesthetics.
Now I don't know where to go. Logic Hall or this one up.
I didn't go to Parkland. Start in Parkland
It's a
and work your way
dilemma
up.
for me now.
And there's also a large multi-purpose room, so that will host dances there, will host large events. They can rent that out, so say there's a big birthday party or an
Yes.
anniversary, they can rent that out free of charge and actually have our chef cater the event for them.
How amazing is that?
Goodness
What is
gracious.
this? Well, now tell us
Okay,
about
so
this
what's
picture.
this? This looks
So
like a theater room.
This is a theater, so this is actually at one of our other Parkland campuses.
Okay.
So there won't be a theater, but this is just an example of some of the amenities that you can
That they're
expect to
offered.
see
Yes.
at a Parkland campus.
Wow.
yeah.
Dances. Can you picture how exciting that is?
I know.
You know, to have your own group come together, seniors,
exactly.
your age group, and be of well mind, hopefully, and be able to enjoy life like that. under
Well,
one
my
roof.
grandmother alone, she used to go out still at 99, 98 was still like bowling and going to play cards or going to play on certain nights, bingo on certain nights of the week. That like she looked forward to those things, and even at that age wanted to bake
Yeah, of course.
to be able to
And-
because she comes from that crowd, right?
And that's just it. What we provide is a social environment because as you get older, it's more difficult to get out of the house when the weather's bad. Your friends are moving away, your friends are maybe going to long-term care.
Yes.
So to have an environment where you're in a safe place, that there's so much to do just
what's
outside of
that?
your.
The hair
So this
salon.
is
that's the
this is the
salon.
spa. Yeah, this is a picture
Audrey.
of the spa.
Audrey owns her own salon.
Audrey,
right?
hairstylist. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm like, you don't
Audrey's a
recognize
stylist.
your own kind of
No.
stuff
I was like,
And again, so if they want to get their hair done, it's just steps from, they don't have to worry about going anywhere. And if they do want to go somewhere, so if they need to go see their, their physician,
doctor.
or if they have a hairstylist that's out of town or close by, we have a shuttle service that will take them to
Isn't
their
this
appointment.
perfect?
And that's all included in their monthly rent.
I'm very thankful on behalf of the citizens that this is being brought to Miramichi
amazing.
Shanix. I am so happy to hear of all of this today.
It is exciting, and we have had a lot of people from Miramichi moving to our other communities in Fredericton and in Moncton, so it's really great that we can keep people in their community where they live their whole lives, right?
now there's quite a few services that you say that are offered, and it comes in the one monthly bill. Now, what if there's certain things that I don't want or don't need? Does the monthly bill fluctuate to account for I don't want those services, or then I can add them later? Would their price change every month?
So really what's included in the base package
Okay.
is your 2 meals a day, your beautiful apartment, whatever size you choose, housekeeping, and then your linen laundry service, and then all of the amenities, your shuttle service. We also have 24-hour emergency response in all of the suites, no matter if you're independent or not. So if something were to happen, there's always someone there.
All right.
And that's something that you
That was
you
their
don't.
just the
A
mention the
menu.
menu,
Taste
the
it.
menu.
Oh, the menu.
They were showing
Yes,
menu
we
there.
It's all about the food.
Yeah.
Look at the choices here. Poached salmon with hollandaise
And
sauce.
of course, there's going to be salmon, hopefully
Yes.
local.
Definitely.
Rack
It's
of
funny you
lamb,
can see that, Judy, because I
chicken
can't.
supreme, chicken.
Yeah, I can see all of that too.
Wow, veal,
I can't.
scalpini, grilled tenderloin. Yes, my eyes are pretty good for my age, I must say.
So our menus are actually different at every Parkland location because
Okay.
they're designed with the input from the actual residents. So
Oh,
we
I
have
see.
resident council meetings, so we'll have the residents that will meet with the chef. When residents move in for the first time, we take into consideration, what their preferences are, what they want to
Or
see on the
allergies,
menu,
maybe,
allergies. So they'll actually meet with a dietitian and figure out,
If you're
what's
gluten
best.
sensitive or
Absolutely, and
yeah.
we try to source the ingredients locally where we can as well. So.
I have a stupid question. When you're independently living like that, whether alone or as a couple, what are the hours of shut down? Like when's bedtime? When like if you're a
Can we
couple,
visit?
like yeah, visiting all of that. I mean, there's certain times that places have to have consideration for those who may want to retire at 10 o'clock as opposed to midnight or beyond.
So there's absolutely no restrictions. I mean, we have a front desk concierge that would be on the front desk during peak hours. But after that, if you want to let a guest in at 11 o'clock at night, it's just like an apartment building.
It
You
is.
can let them
It
in
is,
yourself.
okay.
All right.
But it is a fully secure building with security cameras, secure access. So no one's getting in without a resident buzzing them in or the
Okay.
concierge letting them in.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
and
That's
lots
good
of
to know.
parking for visitors all
Plenty
day long.
of parking and parking for our residents as well. So every resident
of
will
course.
have an assigned parking space. But yes, of course, lots
And
of
the
parking
view.
on site.
Oh.
And the view of
And
the
the
river
view.
They get
is
to live on the
absolutely
water.
stunning.
It's amazing.
No.
People
Yes.
look for that kind of property, and now they have it.
Yeah, my little question is with, like, how is your involvement? She looks so young. I'm like, how did you
is young.
become involved in this project? Like, what is your background?
Yeah, so I've been extremely fortunate. I came to work for Shane-X right out of university. So I did 2 work terms with the company. I started off in communications. I took my public relations degree.
Good.
And then an opportunity came up on the marketing department.
Oh.
So I transitioned about 2 years, actually 3 years ago now,
Oh,
into
wow.
marketing. And I've been with the company ever since. So once we started to bring all these new builds on, my focus became on the new build projects. So it's been really exciting for me. We have some developments in Ontario that I've had the opportunity to
Oh,
work
neat.
on, and now here in Miramichi.
Well, it's just such development happening all of the time. You're in meetings, no doubt, planning and meeting with coworkers and,
Yes, and learning
colleagues
so
from
much.
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Never
in
a
other
dull
words.
moment, yes.
When do you anticipate that Parkland Retirement will open?
Spring of 2020.
Okay, right. Yes, I think you said that,
Yep.
and I missed that. Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So, and you said that there's already some of those units that have been sold, and so
There is. So we're 40% sold. We do have quite a few units available in our all-inclusive plus lifestyle service line.
Okay.
So that's a service line for people that maybe need a little extra support. So rather than getting your 2 meals a day and just your linen laundry service, you would get 3 meals a day, medication administration,
Okay, that's
and you would
important.
get full laundry service.
Okay.
And we also offer personalized care plans for people living in that service line. So they can purchase a la carte care to support their needs gradually as they need it.
Right,
So
right.
that really promotes their independence because it's not round-the-clock care. They can still come and go as they like, but they have that support.
It's an ease of mind thing for sure.
Well,
Knowing that you're
yes.
going to like we're all going to get older. Let's just face it, we're all going to be failing in some way or another, physically, mentally, as we age. So when you get to that point where you do need it, it's consoling to know that that's in place.
And you know what? It's excellent for couples because they can live together
yes.
and, you know, they can have the support they need.
One
Whether
spouse
they
may
have
not need
different
the- yeah.
levels of care, they can
Yeah.
still live together.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
And for family members too. Like, you know, I know that there was a time when Grandma needed someone, not necessarily to live with her, but needed some, you know, somebody to check up on her more often. And then, of course, then
Help her into the shower.
Yeah,
help
and,
as
then,
she
and
got
then we
older.
ended up
Exactly.
living with her. But you know, it's amazing to see that there is that transition opportunity from, you know, living on your own to living with some help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have a la carte care in our all-inclusive lifestyle service line as well. So maybe, you know, you had a fall or you just got out of the hospital and you just needed someone to come check on you and
A little
help you out
extra.
once a day.
Yeah.
Rather than moving to a completely different service line, we can accommodate your needs that
Isn't that
way.
wonderful?
So it's all about helping people feel independent while having access to all of the amenities and a social calendar full of activities so that you can, you know, interact with people your own age and in your group that have
So
same
my
interests.
question would be, just because of my grandmother, the last few years when we were caring for her in her life, I can, and if we would have loved to have had her in a place like that. My concern is how much does the outside family have influence on what services that we believe she needs as opposed to what she believes she needs?
Well,
Because I know that's the way she would, you know what I mean? Whether she took her medicine on time.
Because she was stubborn?
She was very stubborn, and didn't want the help,
Independent.
said she didn't need it, but we needed to check to make sure she took her medicine, and she
sure.
was like, no, I already took it, and just little things like that.
At the end of the day, it's all about the resident. So it comes down to their safety. And our staff are fully trained. So if they know, even our housekeepers are trained to look for those signs that maybe they need a little bit of extra support. So at that time, you know, maybe you didn't recognize it and you were in denial that your mom needed that extra care. We would sit down with you and say, you know, we've noticed these things in your mother.
Yes.
We
But
think
the
it's
family
time.
can go to you as well and say, I think she needs a
Absolutely.
little bit more than what.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
No,
How
open
many,
communication.
I'm sorry, how many rooms is there in Parkland in this place in Douglastown?
52 in total.
52, and you're getting lots of calls already.
Yes, 34 of those are the all-inclusive lifestyle, and the other 18 are the all-inclusive plus. So that's the service line with a little bit of extra care and support.
So how do we apply? How do I get that?
Yes, get
We're
me that.
moving
I
it. My
need
name
that
on the
number right
list.
now.
Yeah.
So right now, you can contact myself. So
Okay.
I'm taking all of the calls for Mayor Michie. So you give me a call. I am meeting with residents one-on-one. You put down a deposit to hold your suite for the full year. It's fully refundable for 6 months.
Okay.
At that point, it will become locked in and applied to your first month's rent.
Right.
Do you want to offer a
Is there-
phone number for you particularly,
Yes,
a contact
yes.
phone number for the viewers?
So my number is 506-778-7275, or you can visit our website, parklandretirementliving.com.
Christina Camusi.
We have a form there that you can fill out with your contact information, and all of that information will come directly into my inbox.
Right.
So we
This is so
can,
exciting.
Yeah, so we can
No,
set up
it
an
is.
appointment that way.
Yes, that we're on the receiving end of these two beautiful complexes.
I know.
No.
It's really big
So
for
is
the
there
Miramichi.
a specific application? Like, I'm just wondering whether or not someone would want to be in and maybe turned down for whatever reason. Maybe they require more health care
Yeah,
or.
so before the building opens, I mean, we are a year out and a lot can change in a year. The resident will meet with our client services manager, who will just make sure, you know, they'll ask a few questions and just make sure that we can provide everything that they need.
The right
to make
level of
sure.
care.
Exactly, absolutely.
That makes
Suitable.
sense.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
just it.
It's amazing. Like I said, I drive by both facilities quite often, and it's just they're so striking as you drive by them because they're just the size of them.
Well, they're gorgeous
Yes.
to look
And
at
then
too.
They
Yeah.
are massive. They
Yeah.
are quite large.
But and you know, as we look at the pictures of what's to come, it's amazing to see how homey it feels. You know, and that, I
Super
think that was
pictures that come from
that was always a
inside.
concern when we talked about
Yes.
such large facilities.
Not
coming
sterile
here.
and,
Yeah.
you know.
and that
true.
can happen. You
For
know,
sure.
in nursing homes.
And
but
a lot
it's-
of people ask me, like, do I bring my own furniture or will it all be set up for me? And you bring your own furniture because this is your home,
That's
just like an
right.
apartment. We
Pictures,
want
okay.
you to make it feel
Yours.
like your own because
Yeah.
it is your own.
I love
No.
that.
So
Yeah, except for when it comes to the different facilities that are offered and things like that within it, that's all taken care of as far as.
yeah, so the amenity spaces
Yes.
and yes, that's all taken care of.
And
No.
job provisions. I mean, you're moving staff over from both the seniors and the Mount St. Joseph, but it's also going to bring additional jobs to the Miramichi,
Yes,
which is
for Parkland.
amazing.
Yes,
We need
we
them.
are already hiring for the,
Oh,
the
great.
new retirement living
Okay.
building. Yes.
I know my nephew Logan's temporary working inside of Logier Hall doing
Construction
yes,
stuff?
construction
Okay.
type work until he's hopefully going to get into a program in the fall. So, you know, it's great to see these young people and people that need to be there for gyp rocking or whatever their skill is in place already working.
Yeah.
I would think there would be many different kind of employment opportunities in a facility like this.
Yes,
right?
I mean, we'll be looking
It
for
won't be just medical.
hairstylists for the spa,
Wellness
host-
instructors.
yes, wellness coach, housekeepers,
amazing.
staff for the dining room.
So happy that this is coming to our
Great.
city.
Yes, definitely. And thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you
today,
so much for
Christina,
having me.
and
You're doing a
sharing
great
all
job.
this great information. And again, to our viewers, don't forget you can get a hold of her directly, 506-778-7275. Thank you for joining us here at Have a Chat. Have a great day.
Have a great week too.